It's another week of Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted Crypto Podcast.
What are we talking about today?
Today's topic is security, specifically crypto security.
All forms of security.
Different things that might go wrong with
Things that can go wrong
things that can go wrong in your crypto journey.
and may go wrong. If you listen to this, we hope they don't go wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. It's very likely that some things of these might happen to you. Our goal with this episode is to reduce that. I mean, not just with this episode. I think our goal is just in general is
It's to reduce.
just to reduce that from happening. We've seen a lot of losses personally through lack of experience and
lack of not knowing.
yeah, just the best way for us to service you is to provide you our prior knowledge and experience and try to make
And where we went wrong.
because we're well aware of the mistakes that we've made.
It's too many to count at this point.
Well,
However, they're not being made anymore.
they're not being made.
They happened once and they haven't happened again.
At least we're capable of learning.
We do learn and we get better.
Yeah. All right. So I first started reading about security, like in crypto, recently with a specific company's crime report. I liked reading like research papers, so I went with this company called Chainalysis.
I think everyone who listens may know who it is. And if you don't know, check them out
On the webs.
on the website. Yeah, it's just called Chainalysis.
Chainalysis.
All they do is follow
they like track,
transactions
they track transactions on different blockchains and
from all sorts of wallets, everything.
they do just that chain analysis.
Literally what the name says.
And they recently in February dropped a crime report.
A new one?
February.
Oh, February. My bad.
Yeah.
I said February like it was like 2 months
Like
ago.
it was like right there.
And I'm like, wait, that was a while back now.
Like towards the beginning of the year.
That was 8 months ago.
That was the
now.
first quarter.
Oof.
We're in the last quarter.
We're in the last quarter, and the last quarter is going not so good in no markets.
In no market.
Yo.
It's all because of the interest rates and stuff like that. But
So what did crime report say that you read?
so illicit transactions are all-time highs. But their overall percentage of the crypto transactions markets are lower
Then
than before. Like as in total illicit transaction volume is at an all-time high, but the volume of crypto transactions has gone up so dramatically that even though the illicit transactions are high, they're lower in ratio to non.
the percentage difference between how many transactions are being done and how much are criminal
Oh yeah, exactly.
is
It's
lower,
smaller.
even though there is more criminal transactioning.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
So, but isn't that like how everything goes? The bigger it gets, the more criminal activity that there will be.
Well, okay. In this particular case, it's actually, I don't know if you would say it's more criminal activity, maybe a little bit less, because of the fact that it is a less ratio in terms of total
But it's
transactions.
still more than where it was
Okay,
a year ago.
yeah. So that
So
in
out
that
of
case,
total
yes.
transaction, yes, it is less.
But
However, it is growing.
Yeah, I think in most systems, those illicit transactions would either stay the same or increase as volume would increase, not necessarily decrease.
So it didn't decrease. It decreased relative to the amount of
Yes.
increase we had in volume.
Yes,
So it still grew.
it still grew, but in total, illicit transactions grew in total volume, but it shrunk compared to illicit transactions increased in illicit transaction volume, but decreased in total volume of crypto transactions.
Yeah.
That's why I started reading. Chainalysis has a great report. Lots of charts, lots of graphs. Very, very fun to read. I like it.
I think we'll put the report in the link.
I was thinking about doing that. I don't know if we can
Why?
because I don't know the copyright material for Chainalysis.
It's not. We're not saying it's ours. It's theirs.
I know, The reason why I say that is because for me to get that report, I had to like fill out like a little form. Like they wanted to collect some information. So I filled out the form.
What's the worst they can do? Take it down? That's literally what they'll tell us, is just take it down.
Yeah, maybe. You might be right. Either way, chain analysis.
We'll put the link to their website then,
At the very least.
at the very least.
Yeah.
We'll do that much. So you can go check that out.
Yep. So when you were researching today's topic of choice, where did you start? What was your like ideal, like, oh, this seems like pertinent information?
It's not so much what I looked up, it's more so what is out there that people should be aware of, and like just what I would call beginner mistakes.
Beginner mistakes, absolutely.
Like not understanding that was a phishing scam, or how in Discord you can get DMs from people, oh, connect this, connect that,
Yeah.
and then you right there you give access to your wallet without having to give out access to your wallet.
Yeah.
Like we talked about last episode, not your keys, not your coins. Same applies. Your keys, it's what's important.
Yeah. So what William's referring to is on Discord, people.
Telegram as well. Anywhere.
Telegram, yeah, really. I
Any phishing-
get a lot of people coming at me on Telegram. They're like, "Hey, sorry to barge in on you, but we're in a similar group." Okay.
Oh, that one, I've been getting that one too.
I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I never met you,
Which is
and you're not providing me any information. Like, you're not providing me with anything right now, so you're kind of irrelevant. But essentially, what happens is people would approach you, seemingly friendly and helpful. What their end goal is to get unsuspecting people to give them their keys.
Yeah, some form of access to their wallet.
Yeah, some form of access to their wallet. There's the most popular way that I've seen is through like linking the wallet via some third-party app and giving them.
Yeah, giving you access, and then just able to take the coins, take whatever, and just move it.
Yeah, well, using your wallet, they'll just move it to another wallet that you don't have access to.
Which that is one way of that they do it. Another way that this is more so moving onward from individual attacks is from like project attacks. It either be coins,
like pump and dumps.
not pump and dumps, like ICO attacks.
Uh-huh.
So that's more of a rug pull. Or
Rug pulls.
pump and dump.
Rug pulls.
Rug pulls, like how we had in NFTs, how people would have an NFT that came out, that's coming out in a couple of hours. They would create a surge, people buy, and then 10 minutes later, it's done minting. You click on the website, and there's nothing.
Yeah, there's no
website. Everything's closed off, and all the funds were moved out to spread out through wallets and wallets and wallets, and there's nothing you can do at that point.
That's exactly what happens. Those are called rug pulls.
Those are rug pulls.
Those are rug pulls. I got caught in a rug pull one time. I don't know. I like the project. I still like the art. I'm gonna be honest. I like the art and I like the project. I just don't know why I don't know why it's considered a rug pull. Like, it still worked the way it's supposed to work.
What project? Come on. Well, you don't have to put the project on blast.
Yeah. So
Let's not put the projects on blast just because. Why bring attention to something that we may or may not be 100% on?
Yeah. So essentially, what was supposed to happen was, there's X amount of these profile pictures, NFTs.
You're just saying NFTs if they're NFTs.
Yeah. So there's X amount of NFTs that are supposed to be minted, but there's only a certain amount of time period to mint them. Once that time period gets reached, any unminted would not be minted.
I know what project you're talking about right now.
Yeah. So then, I don't know, like right before minting started, someone says, "Oh, this is a rug. These people are scammers and not trustworthy."
Okay.
And then I hear that and I'm like, "Oh, this is someone who's trying to lower the overall mint count." Which sounds good, because like if there's less mint, then there's more prestige to it. Like less.
Fair enough. Continue. What happened?
Everyone lost trust in the project and the team, and then instantly, like, the team after I think what happened was the team either were truly scammers and left and dipped, or they got so butthurt that
No, they were scammers.
maybe
No. They were scammers. If they were not scammers,
they'd stay around.
they would have stayed around.
Probably, yeah. Either way, I like the art. I promise you. I
So
like the
right
art.
there, kids and listeners, it's a rug pull. That's literally what a rug pull is.
Yeah,
There's
the Discord on that channel is still live, and I'm still in there. But it's only like it's mostly bots, and it's mostly people just like talking shit about the project.
So what he just described is exactly what a rug pull is. There is a short supply. There's a crazy mechanic that's gonna make the NFT pump up in value, and there's a short time to mint it.
Absolutely.
All of those
Were
were check marks
check
for a
marks.
rug pull. I
Check
want you to
marks.
know that.
To me, it was just like, oh, this makes sense. I was like, this looks valid.
So what you want to do is just due diligence. No true NFT project will have that short of a window to mint or short of a window to do anything.
Yeah, because a common thing for scams is usually like, oh, there's a rush to
There's a
get.
sense of urgency created
yes.
to make you buy into the FOMO. Is what I've learned.
That's I mean, yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So you have to be like, okay, you have to analyze this step by step. Is this too good to be true? And if it is, or if you think it's not, break down, go one by one. Okay, why is there a time frame? How long has the project been out? How long have they been marketing? Some of these rug pulls will put ads on YouTube. Will put ads
Yeah.
on social media.
They'll spend
the ad because they know they'll make it.
They'll put billboards up and everything.
I haven't seen billboards up, but that I believe it.
There's commitment to the rugs. It's
Yeah, they have to sell it enough so that others will buy into it.
absolutely.
So that is something. Since he said he got on that rug pull, I've given away my keys before, being naively.
Naive.
So I'll explain exactly what happened. I was trying to verify the NFT
On the Discord.
on the Discord.
Yeah, because so typically what happens is Discords have like these private rooms for people holders of the NFTs. But there's like typically like a third party program,
a third party
yeah.
provider you have to link to. So I did it through the actual Discord setup itself, but another chat never opened, never did anything. So on the Discord itself, in the general chat, I wrote about it, like, "Hey, what's going on? I did this."
Yeah,
nothing
I
happened."
connected my wallet to the
Naively,
verifier, and then
exactly. Naively, at that point in time, I didn't know people DM you. I knew you shouldn't. I knew you shouldn't give out your wallets. Your
keys.
The keys itself.
The key phrase.
I also didn't know that's exactly what I was giving.
Yeah, that wasn't because what you told me wasn't you never gave them your key phrase.
So what they sent me was a QR code.
Your seed phrase.
The seed phrase.
Seed phrase, yeah.
And what they sent was a QR code. So the way the interaction went down, I was sent a DM. Oh, I see you're trying to. It
looked like it was from like a help bot,
like a support bot.
Yeah.
It goes, I see you're trying to connect. So I didn't know you can. First, I didn't know you can verify on Discord who's part of the team.
We were new to Discord too.
I was the newest to Discord.
Yeah,
I was newer than he was.
He was just like, "Oh, bro, I need to get on this."
I was like, I need to join it. Joined in, did all that, clicked on it. I'm like, yo, where's the thing? You can, as for listeners, you can check on Discord.
Yeah.
On the right,
who are the moderators?
Who are the moderators?
The roles,
everything. So you know exactly who you're talking to. Also, in any chat for Discord, anyone DMing you within the Discord group itself, take it with a grain of salt. Be very skeptical.
Yeah.
Don't just share information. Also, never give keys. Keys are not needed for anything. Back to the story itself. They made it seem like they were helping. They were like, I see that you need help doing exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he's here to solve the problem. I assumed.
Yeah.
So I did it. I scanned the QR code. It was a night, and I go to bed. And I wake up in the morning. I check my NFT. Still there. Because I had a feeling, and I got scared. I'm like, it's still there. Everything's good.
Uh-huh.
But you know when that feeling doesn't go away of worriedness? Check back a couple of hours later. Gone.
Fuck.
It's pain.
Pain. Yeah, being robbed is not.
Being robbed sucks. So tough, expensive lesson learned.
Yeah.
Don't give your keys. Take everything, any messages with a grain of salt. Also, reach out to these support chats in Discords. Verify moderators, verify everything. That goes for Telegrams, Twitters, Instagrams, everything. Anyone DMing you who claims to be someone or work for a specific support team, verify.
Yeah, reach out. If someone reaches out to you, be like, okay, I'm gonna hit you up on Twitter just to make sure this is you. Like, look forward to this.
Yeah, make it
if they're really being nice and like actually try and help, they'll likely reach out. Granted, use multiple layers of like verification. Ask someone else, because that person might just have another Twitter account.
Yeah.
Also impersonating the person.
If it's a verified person, make sure they're verified. If it's a blue chip NFT, verify it's blue chip.
Mm-hmm.
All these things are verifiable. Highly recommend checking.
Yeah.
If anyone's curious,
be skeptical.
Yeah. Take everything in crypto in life with a small grain of salt and be.
This is what the whole like cyberpunk movement is. Like cypherpunk is like, don't trust, verify. Just make sure that what's going down is actually going down. Like it's actually legit.
So I'm gonna ask the question because we have to.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you lose on that rug pull?
I think it was like $800.
I don't feel like saying my number anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He made me feel hurt.
It wasn't that crazy amount.
I feel like if we don't have questions of how much we lost.
I'm gonna be honest with you. At least it wasn't a Bored Ape. Because if that happened to me with the Bored Ape, I'd probably like
cry.
I was gonna say end it.
I don't think
I was gonna say end it.
Also, kids, whatever money you do lose, you don't need to end it.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Just make more money.
Just make more money.
Just make more money.
Make more.
So the NFT I bought was $3,000.
Yeah.
Went to bed, woke up the next morning, it was there, and then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't.
So this episode we might title it how
$3,000
disappeared.
Yeah.
How 3K vanished. That's how it vanished. That's one way. That is a form of phishing. They're just looking for people vulnerable who don't know to take advantage of. Which I tell you these stories, and so does Alex. So it doesn't happen to you. So we covered rug pulls, Discord. That's a Discord attack. That applies for everything. So we haven't talked about security. So
okay. So
how do you protect your coins and digital assets?
So there's multiple things that you need to be worried about. Better said, multiple things that you should be aware about. The first and most important thing is how you store your seed phrases. Your seed phrase is those 12 characters, those 12 words that you're given to you whenever you're creating your wallet. First things first, never store them on a computer, on like a PC, laptop. Do not store it on the cloud. Those are very vulnerable, like lots of access points, like that someone might be able to hack into it and find it or get it. The typical way that people use it is using pen and paper.
I don't know if you can write pen with pen.
No. I was gonna say pen and pencil.
No, you said pen and pen.
So essentially, I was preferably pencil over pen, because graphite lasts longer than ink. But essentially, it is write it down on a piece of paper and make sure it is in a safe place, like in a place that no one's gonna find it, or seemingly not gonna find it. In that specific sense, in storing your seed phrase, there are layers to this. Like you could go up a notch and storing that on a steel plate with the words engraved into the steel plate. Steel plate obviously has a high temperature resistance, rust resistance, shouldn't be able to be bent, so it doesn't melt.
Thick plate, dog.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They shouldn't be bent. Shouldn't be burnt. No rust. Those are obviously more durable than paper, because the thing is with paper is that if it's accessible to damage for water and fire. While the steel plate wouldn't be.
Anyone listening thinks this is a little bit of a headache. It is.
Oh yeah, so
it's supposed to be.
So yeah, so the thing is with security is
the more friction, the more secure.
Yeah.
The less friction, the least secure.
Mm-hmm.
Typically how it works. So you want to have, for when you're trying to store like what we would consider storing assets that you don't want to move for long term, has to be the most friction available.
Yeah, most friction. You want it to white. Oh, so here's another thing that people should definitely do.
Before we go there, continue on from
on the seed phrase. Okay.
Yeah. Let's finish
So,
up.
okay.
Let's wrap that one up and
Okay,
move
so
on to the thing you want to talk about.
You get that steel plate,
Essentially, keep it home,
or find a plot of land and dig a hole in there.
literally, that's actually a method people use.
People do that. You get people. So you told me something one time. I was like, "Oh, that's ridiculous. Don't do that."
You did. When I said split the phrase.
Split the phrase. So there's like a method in doing it. So like you split it into 3 parts. So you need 2 of the 3 different pieces of paper or like pieces of information
to be able to access
it. So you could get there's like different ratios: 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and then 8 to 11, I believe. You get a certain amount of those and start splitting them up amongst like different locations or different areas. So if the time comes, you could always just go to those places and collect them.
You get one more thing. You can also encrypt the words themselves that the cipher is into a acronym of sort.
Yeah, you could do your own encryption.
Exactly, on top of what it already is. There's layers. It's supposed to be a very frictional process because you don't want anyone, at least with this specific one, you want it to be the most safe because it's ideally protecting long-term, highly valuable. This is money that's not moving every day.
Yeah, this is for the cold storage type.
Yeah.
Your ultimate savings account.
Your ultimate savings account. Continue with what you wanted to say.
So then the next thing after you store your seed phrases, which with whatever level of security you deem fit, I would suggest getting an actual hardware wallet to store that would sign any transactions off without being connected to the internet. There's an air gap. Reason being is because signing transactions, there might be some like fuckery put in where the keys are accessed.
Yes.
So a cold storage will make sure cold storage device, hardware. Oh my bad. A hardware wallet. I'm trying to use the right words.
The right terminology. Yeah, hardware wallet.
A hardware wallet would be ideal.
Cold storage meaning it does not connect to the internet itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just cold. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's not connected to the internet.
So once you have your hardware wallet, to make sure your keys are stored offline, not your seed phrase, your keys are stored offline, and your transactions can be signed safely. The next thing would be the thing I would recommend would be to whitelist wallets based off of the ones that you already have.
Where you will be only able to send to those accounts.
Yeah, so
those addresses.
Exactly. So your cold storage, you might only have like 1 or 2 whitelist for your cold storage.
Maybe 1.
Yeah,
at
the less would be
the least amount.
Better. Yeah, the least amount better. So that you know that if someone does get access to that cold storage,
1 point.
Yeah, there's only 1 point that's going to be able to go out to, and ideally that's going to another wallet that you use, that you also have only have access to, which in this case would be like, I would say would be like a warm wallet, a hot wallet. A wallet that you would typically do more transactions with.
Yeah, a wallet that you would be using more so for everyday trading, or that you hold NFTs when you trade or sell them, or just where you stake certain things. That's where you have your staking accounts, things like that.
Yeah.
Not your exchanging everyday type of ordeal.
Once you get a whitelist for your wallets, then now you have like a path in which those funds can be moved into or out of. In terms of wallet security and your transactions, that's kind of like the best way. Like just set up some whitelist. Next thing that I'd say you should be aware of is any connections that your hot wallets are making, any permissions that you are.
Yeah, like when you buy an NFT, like when you buy on
OpenSea,
and exchanges, what access you allowed when you gave your signature.
Yeah, exactly. So
to allow access.
Yeah, so whenever you interact with a website, your wallet is going to say, "Oh, do you want to give this website access to your wallet?" In some cases, it's only used to verify that you have a specific NFT, but in some cases, you might be so essentially the attack here would be a false spoofed type of website where it's meant to replicate another website that you're trying to verify your NFT on, and it looks like the original website, and you give them permission, but by giving them permission, you give them access to your wallet. So you have to make sure in this particular case that you're on a trusted, verified website where
you're on the correct website.
You're on the correct website.
You made sure you clicked the link on their verified pages, that you went directly from the source,
and that you checked what permissions you're giving them off. So how do you check for these two specific things? To verify you're on the right website, first things first, I'd say is stay away from any Google ads. Like on the top, like whenever you do Google search.
Yeah, not the ads.
Don't do the ads ones because
you can pay for that.
Exactly. Look for like the typical, like right below that, the official one, first one. SEO is pretty, like, these companies know what they're doing. Or check on their Twitters, Discords. They'll
Instagrams,
find
everything.
Yeah, they'll give you links to their official website. Check multiple sources always. Yeah, you find it on Twitter. Find it on Instagram. Find it on
Discord, Telegram, wherever you are.
Make sure that they match up. That's the making sure you're not on a spoofed website or like a copy pasted type of website. Second thing would be the permissions. Whenever you are going to connect your wallet to that specific website, it's going to give you a little prompt saying, "Oh, do you want to grant this website permissions to use your wallet?" Click the more info button, read that, try to make sure. That's honestly,
I've never clicked that. What does that show you?
That's more technical.
It shows you the code, right?
Yeah,
Right,
the issue is it is more technical. It's not plain English. That's like kind of like one of the hurdles that we have right now.
So what you can do is, because I was told about this, is depending on where you are, it depends really how worried you should be. If you're making a purchase through OpenSea or these exchanges that are marketplaces regulated by governments, for the most part, they are very secure. I'm not saying you should trust them wholeheartedly. However, there is more a level of comfort. The risk really comes in from third parties that we are not verified 1,000% on. Bigger companies, bigger corporations, for the most part, have to be more trusted in those cases. Not trusted by us, but trusted by the government to do the right thing. Because if any fuckery does occur, they have to deal with those consequences, not just the people's consequences. But and also if it's a very big purchase, you can look for someone who can read the code, understand and explain to you in plain English, "Oh, this is the action they're going to be requesting." Also, you can, from purchases you have done, you can also go on websites that you put the account in, your wallet address in, and it'll tell you what has been approved, and you can remove access from there as well.
Yeah, there's ways to see what.
Which we'll probably have a link for one of those as in this episode, so you can check it out as well.
I don't know any of those myself. Actually.
I have one.
You got one? Okay, that's cool.
I didn't click on it today. I didn't really look into it. I don't transaction very often with NFTs, so I didn't. But that it does do it. Which just reviews any tokens and contracts that you have given access to, and you can just remove them, remove the access.
Something that, if you're like an avid NFT trader, that might be something good.
Or user, or things of that nature. Highly recommend checking where done trading.
Yeah. So, for the most part, I think that covers like a good amount of like your base security. There is right now I'm thinking about a specific scam that happened early last year. Yeah, early 2021, I believe. I don't know if you saw this, but on
Twitter,
Twitter,
I did see that scam. I mean, we talked about that scam. It's a phishing scam,
I saw
but it
that.
was on a larger scale.
I saw that live. I was like, there is no way this is actually happening.
I think the listener should remember the Twitter scam. I don't remember when it happened.
It was in 2020. It was last. It wasn't this year. It had to be.
It was the year before.
Yeah.
It was during pandemic, if I'm not mistaken.
2021, 2020.
A couple,
Early in the year.
minimum 2 years ago. Out of nowhere, all these verified
Yeah,
accounts.
verified accounts on Twitter. Specifically, the two that I remember. There's two people that I remember. I don't remember any other persons, but it was Bill Gates and Daddy Elon.
Oh yeah, those were the two main ones, but it was not just them. There was other superstars who also.
Yeah, it was multiple people because.
Yeah, this was multiple. I only follow Elon, so I only got Elon's, but I did see that multiple accounts got hacked, and basically what they did was a very simple scam. Actually, this scam, I'll tell the story, happened with one of my friends.
It was a hack.
It was a hack. No, yes,
It was a hack that went into a scam.
that went into a scam. Yeah, that's good. That's good. There's two parts to this story. It's a hack that goes into a scam, and the hack wasn't even really an internet hack.
It was 2020. July 15, 2020.
Yeah, it was 2020. So what happened was, out of nowhere, a bunch of Twitter accounts said, "Send me some Bitcoin."
Yeah, so there's another scam that you'll probably find, by the way, in other places.
You'll find this scam everywhere. Once we tell it, is you send me some Bitcoin, I'll send you a larger sum back. And I don't remember how much they got scammed, but I think Elon's within like the hour it was up, got scammed out like $1 million worth of Bitcoin. So the way this hack happened, from what I remember, was it wasn't that the Twitter accounts themselves were individually hacked. It was someone in Twitter who ran passwords got hacked, and then because he got hacked and he had access to that, they were able to then log in to all these other accounts.
Yeah, so Barack Obama, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos.
Everybody else, somebody got hacked, and they were all the same.
Yeah,
Send me some Bitcoin, and I'll send you a larger amount back.
Actually, you know what? Looking at this, I'm reading up on it a little bit more. I think I can't confirm this yet, but I was thinking about someone who went to UCF that did a hack. I think it might have been this one. That was like, there's no way I went to that school. I was like, that person. I was like, these people are wild.
But that's what the hack was. They were able to log into a Twitter employee's account. From that account, gain access to the rest of to everyone else's Twitters, and then they were able to scam people out of X amount of Bitcoin.
Yeah. So.
Which you should not believe that. Anyone who tells you that's a lie, because
no one is gonna give you free money. Like, that's just not
free Bitcoin in that way.
Like, not that way.
Not in the sense of I'm gonna send me a little bit. I'm gonna send you more. It doesn't work like that.
If they're gonna give you something, they'll just give it to you.
Our mission is just like Alex Hermosi, is give you shit for free.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Add value.
Hopefully this adds some sort of value. Yes, we do have long tangents in between the important information, and we hope to get better at it.
So the hacker for that Twitter, Graham Clark of Tampa.
Oh, from Tampa. It was a Floridian, baby.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he went to.
You went to school with this guy?
I likely.
This guy went to school with him.
Likely.
Oh, well.
It's a possibility.
Could have been in your graduating class.
No, he wasn't, because he was still in class.
Oh, you're still in school with him?
Yeah,
Oh. So one of my friends' account got hacked on Instagram. Like, they got into his password. That account slowly started to get changed. What I mean by that is, it first DM'd me before it started changing, saying, "Oh, I gave this person X amount of money, $500 in Bitcoin. They sent me this amount back. They sent me screenshots and everything." But I knew this guy. I knew the person personally, and I was like, "You would never give no one money. You never." The minute he started telling me, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay.
Bro,
I left it at that.
I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing.
That account slowly started changing, adding more pictures of not him. It added a new profile picture of someone else. It slowly started to become.
I actually saw that happen to someone. I saw that happen to someone also.
Dude, wild.
Yeah.
straight up crazy.
Yeah, where you just see someone's. I was having a conversation with someone from my high school on Twitter. I mean, on a social media platform, and I was like, at least I believed I was having a conversation with someone from.
Oh, you're not sure?
No, I'm certain that it's not.
Oh,
At this point, I'm certain that it's not someone from high school.
Why?
Because the way the interaction went down, I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally do this, but first you have to make sure that like first I was like, send me a picture of you with like putting your pinky to your nose or something like that.
yeah.
And then the person replying was like, are you serious, dude? Like you don't trust me? I was like, no, I trust the person that you say you are, but I can't confirm that you are that person until you do this.
So you were skeptical from the beginning.
Yeah, I was skeptical. Like,
why were you skeptical?
Okay, so like it's a post that the person was putting up. It was okay. So specifically, the post was, "Oh, I'm getting into Bitcoin mining. I put in $1,000 into my friend's business, and the next day I got 10,000." I was like, "Look, I
that was very similar to the DM I got.
Yeah,
that was my exact same.
I was
DM.
like, I
Not
know
mining,
very well how
trading.
Bitcoin mining works. I was like, this is not safe. So be careful. I was like, be careful with what you're putting out there." And then I get replied back saying, "Oh no, it's fine. Like I do this all the time. It's a very trusted person." I was like, okay, cool. That person hits me back up like two days later with a different story about something else. And then I was like, "Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds cool." I'm still like, I'm thinking, okay, this is a person that in high school who got like who fumbled somewhere in life is what I was thinking at first. And I was like, okay, well that's fine. Like it happens. Like let me just give them the benefit of the doubt and like see what venture they're in now. And then like the venture just kept on getting scammier and scammier, and I was like, yeah, sure, just prove to me that you're you, and then I'll totally be on. Like I'll be 100% on it. Like just because like it's someone that I knew, and like even though like I was like, I don't remember the conversation. It was already a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago. So I was like, now once the person said, "Oh, I'm not gonna send," like seriously,
You're like, nope.
I was like, yeah,
You're a bot.
you're compromised.
So yeah, everyone be safe out there in this digital world we live in at the moment. It's hard to trust things. Take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt.
Yeah. So that whole like, send me Bitcoin and I'll send you.
Yeah, it doesn't
Double the Bitcoin. That there's, who says, yeah, give me $1 and I'll give you back 2.
That's doable.
That's with like contract terms. It's like interest. Like it's like, yeah, lend me $1 and I'll pay it back. But like there's typically like some type of collateral.
Not always, but yes. Right, yeah. Is there anything else you want to hit on? Any topics? So we also something I want to mention is we've talked about specifically individual protection, individual attacks, not projects or anything like that. So,
Oh, that you're saying that we're
we also haven't talked about like I don't remember the Avalanche hack, or what was the hack like for 600 million?
600 million.
Yes, dude.
Was it Avalanche? It seems like it's Avalanche.
It's like maybe one of those.
Also, that was like a couple months ago at this point.
Oh yeah. Probably more than that at this point.
Well, like, yeah. So whenever you're interacting with smart contracts are vulnerable. This is code written by people who can have mistakes, and their code might have bugs. There are literally pen testers who dedicate their lives to testing out this code and breaking it. That's how they make their living, breaking the code. So anytime you interact with this, you open yourself up to some type of vulnerability. I can't really say that's like goes into like operational security as like an individual. It's just more like you're kind of like taking a risk in some type of investment that you're trying to get into.
Yeah, there's a risk for everything.
So like, if you're gonna invest in some type of DeFi protocol or smart contract, you have to be aware that there might be some bugs associated with that. And if you're willing to put in whatever X amount of money, that you are very likely to lose that money, like assuming that it gets compromised.
Did you read about the BNB bug? The Binance bug.
No, I haven't. I haven't
There's
heard
a
about
few.
it.
Well, this. Let me see when I wrote this. I don't remember when I wrote this. I think it was like 2 days ago now. It was probably on Monday. It was a hacker stole. The way they wrote it was they stole 100 plus million dollars worth of BNB coin. So this is how it happened. BNB runs on two blockchains: the Beacon chain for simple transaction and the BNB smart chain for contracts. The hacker exploited a bug in the bridge between the two chains, creating 2 million BNB out of thin air. Then the hacker used that BNB that he had into a DeFi protocol and took out $100 million worth of stablecoin loans.
I see.
And then from those $100 million worth of stable coins, he distributed it more into other wallets and other wallets that he had. And because of this attack, I'm reading what I wrote down. So the BNB team wants to add a governance structure for the BNB holders in regards to what they will do next for the recovery of the stolen coins. Also, they're saying the hackers might be North Korea,
Who hacked the Binance?
who hacked the Binance chain as they hacked another chain a few months back.
A while ago.
They're saying it might be North Korea who did some party in North Korea who hacked Binance chain. Not saying it was North Korea. Let me be a little diplomatic, right? Also, Tether blacklisted the ETH wallets that were the stable coin were sent to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So anyone who receives money from those wallets is instantly gonna be like.
So that's a different conversation.
By the fat F, right?
What? Well, no.
From the blacklist.
Tether blacklisted them.
Oh, Tether. Okay, so those are not like they're no longer
stablecoin.
Okay, so they're no longer being able to do transactions on chain.
On chain.
Okay.
Tether.
By Tether.
Yeah. So that's wild.
That's the beauty of all that. It's like these funds were obviously...
So what do you think about censorship in crypto? Like how Tether just did and how they're doing with Tornado Cash?
So the whole thing behind the censorship is if it's coming from a distributed network, then the network chose it. Like...
Distributed network, the network chose it, correct?
Yes, in a not distributed network like Tether, I don't necessarily
like it.
Yeah, it seems
because we hope it's for the good, but it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Yeah.
Kind of how like BlackRock stopped allowing, I think it was in UK, withdrawals from certain.
Actually, okay, you bring me into my next point. For crypto security, as on a personal level,
yeah.
If you're going to be using exchanges, have multiple accounts on multiple different platforms, and don't store too much of your
on any one of those. Don't leave a large sum in any one of those accounts.
Yes. So, it's like you said, these exchanges are typically centralized, and if there's a crash, to try to make sure that they don't completely go out of business.
Yeah, and for them not to lose full liquidity, they will pause withdrawals.
They will pause withdrawals, leaving you no access to your funds.
Like what happened with Celsius, what happened with Voyager.
It happens with Coinbase whenever Bitcoin.
But these are companies. I made an example of companies who went bankrupt, and people are currently stuck.
Yeah,
I'm also one of those people currently stuck.
Yeah, in Celsius.
With Celsius.
Yeah. That's not a good one.
Learning lessons along the way. I'm also a believer in if you're not gonna have it, might as well use it.
I told you this when we first started using Celsius. It was like the 6 so the thing is with Celsius, they were offering 6% back
on BTC.
On BTC.
Which is easy to do when things are up.
Yeah, when the markets are
when
green,
markets are up, 6% is easy.
I was like, wow, that sounds great. issue is it's centralized, and you don't have keys. You don't have access to your keys. So eventually, what happened was, well, Celsius went bankrupt. And they're filing bankruptcy now.
But
They're trying to figure
they
out
also
how
went bankrupt for mistakes they made.
Poor investment.
For poor investment, for poor decisions. Because I knew they had to be investing. You can't make 6% out of thin air.
Yeah, you don't just make 6% out of thin air.
I also thought they should have adjusted the interest they were charging per loaning. I think that would have been 100% value. Like it would have been 100%.
Like justifiable.
Justifiable. That's the word I was looking for. Justifiable. Like, okay, we can't offer these low percentages. We have to bump it up.
Bump up
Which, even if it's higher than what it was, you were still competing because markets are still high.
I took the biggest shit when that happened. When Celsius started pausing trading, they essentially you couldn't move any money. Even within their platform, you couldn't move any money. I was like, oh my god. I took out a loan with them. I was like,
yeah, you're scared because of a margin call.
I was like, yeah, I had margin calls. I was like, okay.
You were also close to margin calls by that point.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to pay off this loan before, but they weren't accepting. There's like no way. There was like, I really had to work around it and try to find a way to send some money into Celsius, so that I could pay off the loan in Celsius.
We're both in the same spot. We both have some coins in Celsius that are not going to be moved for a while.
Yeah. It's a hurtful amount. It's not an amount to like be like, oh, I got off my stuff.
So actually, we have gotten off nice. There's the biggest holder in the current lawsuit, like people who they've reached out to, is a holder who has 80 million worth of crypto.
Okay, so you see, I don't know what that guy was thinking. 6%. He was like he was thinking.
Okay, so I'm also looking at it. If he has 80 million there, he probably has 200 million
somewhere else. That's actually kind of facts. That might be low-key facts. I would hope that's the case.
I hope that's not his entire 80 million.
Yeah, yes. Ultimately, that's what I'm hoping for. That guy is like sanity.
Because if it's not, that's pain.
That's.
And no, we don't have video yet. Alex just did the gunshot to his head, and he's like, "Die," like that. And I was like, "No need to die. It's only 80 million. You can make that up somehow. You can start OnlyFans at this rate.
Just win the lottery again.
You might lose half of that. You might lose more than half on taxes. With the rate the IRS has been lately.
Yeah. So have multiple wallets, multiple accounts,
multiple exchanges you're going to be using. Do not keep large amounts on exchanges.
Okay, now that we're on the topic of exchanges, ideal situation: don't use your actual email whenever you're signing up for these exchanges, because if those exchanges gets hacked, then you become a prime target for crypto phishing attacks. I've thought about that because I have one email. Mm-hmm. I don't have one email. I have multiple emails. You got multiple. I know you got multiple.
I have multiple emails. I got more than one, and I have it so centralized.
You just use one.
I just use one.
Okay, so this is something that I found out recently. The guy from Coin Bureau does this. He uses multiple emails for any account that he's logging into. So like let's say he's making a Coinbase. I would assume he would use his name coinbase@gmail.com and then have every email sent to that email forwarded to like a centralized email.
Yes.
So like he just has different emails and then just forwards those emails. So then once he gets notified, oh, this exchange got hacked. Okay, cool. Delete that email, change the email. Now any emails coming into that centralized location from the auto forward is theoretically clean.
Yeah. That's one way of security. Also, the best way to be secure is have multiple layers of security. Meaning more than one point has to fail for you to be screwed out of anything.
Yes. That's like key principle when it comes
to security.
It is.
With that being said, take that with a grain of salt. because it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
That means the most amount of friction.
Friction. Yeah.
It's not easy.
So that's always like the argument I have with my dad. He's like, I don't feel secure. I was like, yeah, because you have you. I was like, because your things get in the way and you don't like it. He's like, because I implement security for him. Specifically, next topic for what you should do first for things would be setting up two-factor authentication
on everything.
On literally everything.
Yeah, everything should happen.
Everything that you can get.
Or biometrics.
Biometrics work. They're good. They're better than SMS.
What?
Standard messaging.
Okay, yeah. I mean like I have also biometrics.
Like as a two-factor authentication.
Oh, just to sign in. It makes it more difficult because it's your unique prints or your unique face.
So when you set up two-factor authentication, it is okay. You gotta put in your first form of authentication.
Yeah, you have to put in, for example, your one password and then six number phrase characters. That's your email to you, text to you, or called you,
randomly generated by
or a randomly generated one.
That's the one that I set up for him.
That's mainly Apple.
No, Google has one.
Oh, Google also has one. You're right.
Google and there's a handful of other ones also.
Yeah, but I'm saying the most common are not that.
So yeah, most people use SMS or email.
That's when they get offered. I don't get the random generator one.
You gotta download the app, then you gotta like connect it. It's a little bit of a headache. Security.
He said that, and I was like, I'm not doing none of that. I already have two factors. I'm good.
So I set it up for my dad, and then he's like, "Where do I find this code?" I was like, "It's in the app. We
just downloaded.
We just downloaded." He's like, "Oh my god, I can't remember that." I was like, "It's right there. It's
right next to it.
It's right. It's like right. It's on your home. It's on your home screen, right next to all the apps that you use."
And he's like, "I don't see it."
He's like, "Oh, okay, that one." Oh my god, what a headache.
Security, like we've been saying this entire episode, is typically a headache.
No.
Oh, your dad?
I'm good with I know what I have implemented. Whenever I forget something, I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta fix this. Then yeah, that's where the headache comes in for me. It's typically the headache I'm in is for my dad, where he just completely like, Alex, I don't want to fuck this up. Come over here.
That's funny.
So he calls me quite often.
Fair enough.
All I know for the most part is that his stuff is not completely shit because I kind of like that. I'm kind of
because you handle it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, but actually, speaking about that, I started taking care of that after
he got hacked.
He got the
WhatsApp.
It was
right?
WhatsApp.
I remember
his WhatsApp got compromised.
He asked one of someone in the family for money.
He asked multiple people.
For money.
He sent me. He's like, oh, I'm in a little bind. I need I need your help. Can you send me some money? I was like, this motherfucker. He's in the room right next to me.
He's in the room right next to me, and he got more bread than me in his wallet right now.
I was like, this guy. I was like,
wrong guy to say that.
Yeah, I was like, bro.
Wrong person to pick.
I was like, this guy got rocked with the wrong person. Immediately, I go to the next room. I was like, we need to fix your shit right now.
And he's like, what's happening? He's like, someone hacked it.
And then I was like, my aunt's calling me, telling me that you're asking her for money.
And what did he say?
He's like, I'm not though. I was like, I know you're not.
Why did you scream in the microphone?
I'm sorry, microphone.
No, the listeners are sorry. You have to be sorry for it.
I'm sorry, listeners.
It heard you. What's our time at?
Pterodactyl screech.
What?
Oh, my screaming into the microphone.
Okay.
We are at 53 minutes and 30 seconds without the intro.
What do you mean without the intro?
The dun, dun, dun,
oh, the
dun,
music.
dun.
Yeah, but it's only like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so 53 minutes and... Wait for it. We should be at 54 minutes right now.
Fair enough. I was gonna say something, but I forgot my train of thought real quick.
Yeah, because you asked the time it was.
And then
I dragged it out.
You did drag that out. You talked about me last episode dragging out the outro. You dragged out a question that was literally 10 seconds. I want you to be... He talks about me.
Okay, so I said something in the beginning about Chainalysis crime report.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that the increase in illicit trading for crypto included a whole bunch of things that aren't specifically scams or hacks.
Like?
Money laundering,
Oh.
For an example, terrorist funding, which are things that happen. Like
Yeah,
tornado,
that are
like
illicit
tornado.
and
Yeah,
illegal and
exactly.
everything.
That's illegal, illicit and illegal.
Yeah, this episode is just mainly how you just some steps things
Yeah,
to be aware of.
some like introduction into its crypto security.
Yes.
We will be delving into this on the constant.
Yeah.
Like
This will probably be something we touch on every so often. This might get redundant.
My God.
It might get a little redundant.
It might get a little redundant. Not for you guys. Honestly, it just might be just for us sometimes.
No, it might be redundant for you guys too.
Yeah, it definitely will be redundant for
Because
that.
I'll bring it up in the pod. I'll be like, this guy said this again.
Yeah, you said that last. You said we're gonna be on episode 50 something, and you're gonna be like, you said that on episode 8, episode 7,
We're not on episode 8.
episode 7.
We're on episode
I
7.
corrected myself.
Comes out this Thursday. We got listeners better than the episode 5 one. Remember that? The episode 6?
Episode 5 was atrocious.
Episode 5. Why didn't you guys like the FOMO one?
No. The thing is, there is no one. There's 2 people listen to it. 2 people. 2 people. So it's not that they didn't like it; they just didn't catch it. I think it's our fault.
Think
Marketing.
it's our fault? Marketing? We gotta get better?
We gotta get better at marketing.
Fair enough.
We just want people to hear it because we think this is helpful information.
I do think this episode might be helpful.
This is probably like one of the better, more helpful information episodes we got. Absolutely.
Anything else to share?
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
What?
I don't know. I was just thinking about like the
Why are you hiding your... You have a wife?
that meme of like the guy who was being interviewed. He's like, it's like hide your kids, hide your wife, they're coming for you, something like that. You don't remember what I'm talking about? Someone knows what I'm talking about. Please show it to William.
This guy.
Because it was like he was like talking about like staying safe and protecting your people.
I'll bring this up now just so you can remember tomorrow.
Okay.
When you edit this, you have to do a YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
We're ideally gonna get on YouTube. No video yet, but the idea is to get video.
Yeah, we're working on the video.
Everything here is a work in progress.
It's a work in progress. We're here for the journey.
On the long journey. Fun journey, maybe.
I'm having fun with it.
Well, I've done so far. Pretty good information. I'm sure we'll figure out how we want to do this one day.
I mean, we figured out how we want to do it right now.
Nah, you see, every time I hear a podcaster talk about when they started, like, yeah, it takes like a year to find your voice.
Oh yeah, okay. So you mean like you're curious as to where we're gonna be?
It'd be in a year from now.
Be in a year.
Let me see. It's 52 weeks. If we don't miss a week, it's 52 episodes.
Yeah.
There should be some change there.
Celebration for episode 50 or episode 52 or 53?
Neither.
No celebration.
100.
100. 100 is cool.
Or 104.
2 years.
2 years.
We're looking too far.
We're looking-
It will happen. We'll get there.
When we're a little closer, we'll worry about that. We're
Yeah.
still a little far.
Yeah.
Maybe we get to episode 40 and we're like, are we doing something?
Right
for
now,
episode 52?
what we got to focus on is bringing the quality content. The quality.
We could go a little up in quality, if I'm honest.
Maybe. I don't know. I like what we're saying. I like it.
Oh, I meant like getting that thing we talked about.
Oh yeah. The little clock
Yeah.
with a timer.
I didn't mean the clock and the timer, but yes, I meant the foam padding for the room to get
Oh,
echoes
the
out of here.
foam padding. Yeah.
Also, we need to make this room a little more lively.
William has a thing for foam.
I don't. We were told to get it so it doesn't reverberate, whatever that word is. As you guys can clearly see, we're on tangent mode. The security part is all done at this point.
We've reached the capacity for
No, he's reached capacity.
for focus. I tell William my attention span for most of our
this guy
conversations are about an hour.
Yeah, he topped out an hour. But this guy's funny. He told me, he goes, I don't like more things longer than an hour. Shorter the better. He goes, I preferably 45 minutes or less. I sent him an 8-minute video. He didn't finish the 8-minute video. He stayed halfway. I feel like sharing this so you can see his attention span, and he's making you all sit through an hour long of this.
I'm not making what
He provides hour-long content. He can't watch an 8-minute video.
This guy. Look,
Me, on the other hand, I would love to do this longer. I could go here for hours. I'm kidding. We don't have to go.
No. I'm just curious. If you were to sit here for the next 2 hours,
Okay. Counting this hour that we already did.
No.
Or another 2 hours.
Another 2 hours is what I was, what I was referring to. What would you talk about? What would you do different?
What would you talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what we've just been talking about.
Okay, so
I
see. I don't know. I feel like having 2 hours worth of conversation, like 2 hours worth of information to just spew on a specific topic when we talk.
Oh, you don't have to spew it though, and it doesn't have to be the same information. You can do an hour specifically talking about what you want to talk about, and then the other hour could be something else.
I see. Yeah, because I'm thinking, I was like, I've never, like, very rarely do I go to a lecture that's more than an hour long.
First of all, if you're looking at this as a lecture, we have a problem here.
No, I'm just saying.
No, we have a problem here. If you're looking at this podcast like a lecture right now,
I'm just saying.
Because then we have to talk about how we want to present information. Are you trying to tell people information? Or are you trying to have a conversation? And then within that conversation, you're providing information. There's a difference.
There's a slight difference.
No, there's a big difference.
There's a slight difference.
No, big difference. Not slight, huge.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I'm in a lecture, I'm having a conversation with the professor.
I never feel like I'm having a conversation when I'm in a lecture.
No?
I feel like guys just telling me things.
Oh.
A conversation is when you answer, you say something, I respond, then you respond back to me, and then we're going back and forth. Then I say something that may or may not make sense. You're like, that may not make sense. Why doesn't it make sense? Oh, it doesn't make sense for X, Y, and Z. I see why it doesn't make sense, and it goes from there. Conversation.
Versus
me saying words to you to the face. Just like, bah, 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 bah.
This is it. This is that. Get it done.
Like I said, that's why it takes a year to find your voice.
Take the quiz.
I don't know if this is going to make it or not. It might, it may not.
I'm good.
Time to sign out?
We could sign out. We're at an hour.
I'm doing what you do. I'm doing exactly what you did.
What?
You're running this for too long.
You said.
Did that make it last pod?
You said
that you were running this for too long.
No.
I don't listen to the pods.
I don't know. I don't listen to it either. I don't want to like interfere with the.
What do you mean you listen to it?
Well, I don't listen to like after post download.
Oh,
post download because I know you don't listen to it while editing because I'm the one who edits it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, you're
like, how are you not listening to our pod? You're editing.
You're editing.
You edit. How do you not listen to the pod? Okay, no,
this is mandatory.
Yeah. No, I mean like post download. I don't listen to.
That's fair.
I don't listen to the pod post down. I've already heard. I listened. I was through it.
You've done sufficient.
Yeah. I edited it. I don't want to hear it a third time for 2 reasons. Why?
We only have one reason.
Second reason, the stats. I like seeing the statistics.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna close out. Stay tuned. Catch us on all our socials. William with the boat, underscores between all those letters. What's yours?
Not all those letters, all those words.
All those words, correct.
You're about to have some people writing like 24 different underscores.
All those words, underscores.
That's William underscore with underscore the underscore boat.
What's yours?
At Grander Alexander.
That's right. That is right. Next week's topic. It's going to be about NFTs. We're not sure how that's going to go. It's going to flow. Talk about...
We like NFTs.
By the way, that $3,000 off was an NFT.
It was an NFT, yeah.
It was an NFT.
My 800 was also an NFT.
His 800 off. It is what it is, guys. I'm still trying to figure out what this one's gonna be. What's the
He was just like,
what's the title for this one? I just remembered I lost $3,000 on that. I didn't remember. Kind of sting. Fuck.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So we're gonna be talking about NFTs next week and their use cases and other stuff.
Use cases,
contracts,
history,
smart contracts, smartness.
Our favorites, and how
most popping, most interesting at the moment.
Most interesting.
Signing out.
Yeah.
This has been another week of Sometimes Crypto.
The Unscripted Crypto Podcast.
Catch you on the next one.